Today, we're putting on our Explorer's hat because we're gonna be scouring through the ERLs and giving you all the latest info on the 13 leagues in the EMEA region. So put on your Explorer's hat as well, we have a lot to talk about. First up is the LFL, and before you say, "Oh, but Armand, you're French, you're favoritizing your own ERL." Hell yeah, I fucking am! We are the best fucking ERL! K-Corp is here, BDS is here! I'm French and I eat croissant every morning! The group stages ended this week and BDS, along with la prestigieuse Carmine Corp, have just qualified for the EMEA Masters.
Et les BDS Academy vont vaporiser les Castés Blues. Le match de la semaine se termine par une magnifique victoire.
On one side, BDS has shown complete dominance with a 12 games win streak at the end of the split, and also several highly performing members such as Kedui, Genax, Reeker and more. But Carmine Corp is still not to be underestimated, because we all know what the Blue Wall can do at EMEA Masters if they get there, and they've already locked in their spots, so people should be looking out for them. Caliste is obviously still a big prospect to watch. In other news though, Gentlemates, a roster that was supposed to be dominating the league and was built to win it all, narrowly managed to qualify for playoff this week by beating Team Go in a nail-biter of a game. This team still holds several very talented prospects such as Bao, Camelius, Ragnar and other members, but they've been struggling recently.
On va y aller! On va aller au playoff! On va au playoff! Voilà, champ des kills en plus! Champ des kills en plus! On y va! Let's go! Voilà les gars! On y va!
On the other end though, Selfmade and Team Vitality B have been completely smurfing in recent weeks with a 6-game win streak in the group stage. The action is eating up though, and the playoff starts on next Wednesday with BKR against Gentlemates, which should be a banger of a match, you won't want to miss it. Ah, the SuperLiga, the home of drama. With KC Esports announcing their imminent departure from the league, the terrible things that Giantech's former jungler did, and Ramboot failing to make playoffs despite signing Jeskra to try and win the league.
Se explota y el chico, el que se lleva el asesinato, la iniciación de Forfeit es una barbaridad, triple kill para Chico. Ojo aquí, no se va a llevar la cuadra, se la ha quitado Spuder. Y Lebron, que es el único superviviente, va a caer también ahora sí, cuadra kill de Chico.
This split hasn't been easy for Spanish fans. You'll want to turn towards Los Heretics. The team has been completely smurfing in this split with Jack Spectra at the helm, Xerxes in jungle, and Zwairu in mid, who recently was promoted to the LEC and will now be replaced by Surges. Though they have been dominant in the early season, Los Heretics have been falling off a bit recently though. Guasones is a big team to look forward to. From back-to-back 10th place last year to potentially contending for a title in the league now, they are surely an opponent to look forward to.
Mientras tanto, mucho cuidado con Chico, el corazón es muy bueno sobre Sertus, se va a acabar muriendo. Kill para Zeiger, es un 5 contra 4. Ya Spectra que activa la definitiva, pero pinta bastante complicado. Esto que va a ser para Guasones, salvo milagro. Carsen vendido, se queda stuneado. Ay, ay, ay, ay, ay. El equipo azul ha ganado, Champions del Hielo, ya lo decíamos nosotros.
Outside of the top two teams though, Giantech's pride are not to be forgotten about. They recently signed Juhan, a former world champion, who has been completely smurfing and helped the team reach a 6-game win streak and qualify for playoffs. Alongside them is Case Esports, which also ended the split in 3rd position, tied with Guasones, and are currently the home of several prominent members such as Guilloto, former LEC and LCS coach, but also Rox, which was shortly the support for Fnatic. The team was in a 12-6 score and are looking pretty strong despite a recent loss. Unfortunately, with the split now finished, we also have to pour one out for Ramboot. Making the decision to bench Rajito in favor of Jeskra, the team hoped to increase its results and contend with the top teams while they were still in 2nd and 3rd position, but unfortunately with this roster swap, the team ended up in a 99 score after a 4-game lose streak and failed to qualify for playoffs. Playoffs begin this Tuesday, and if I were you, I would definitely not want to miss the Giant X Pride against Movistar Koi, which should be a pretty exciting matchup, judging from the lineups of both teams, but also the case against UCAM match, which will also be quite interesting nonetheless. That said though, I'm sorry Spanish fans, but the LFL is here to stay. After the Istanbul Wildcats have unfortunately left the league, Supermassive has seemed like the major contenders of the TCL. Being the home of Armut, Jacktroll, Luger, Skeens, and even Blue, this team is definitely one that you should be looking forward to. While they may seem like clear favorites in the league, Papara Supermassive surely met their match this split as they ended in a three-way ties with Bousquet Esports and Besiktas Esports as well.
Düşürmeye çalışıyorlar. Tüm hasarı göğüsledi. Armut hala düşmüş değil. Şimdi kullanılan bir Walker var. Mire'yi Armut alabilecek mi? Almayı başardı. Ama Armut skoru yeterli olur mu diye bakıyorum. Kavru hala hatta Kavru rahatlıkla vurmaya devam ediyor. Luger'i de aldı ve Beşiktaş tertemiz bir savaş çıkardı burada.
Papara ekibi sabretse, Baron'u beklese belki şanslar olurdu ama onlar yanlış bir tercihle, yani Beşiktaş'ın kuvvetli olduğu alanda savaşırsanız bu durum kaçınılmaz oluyor.
The level of play in the Turkish league seems closer than ever, and the playoffs should prove to be a complete banger. Surprisingly though, on another note, Foot Esports, a team which was really hyped up before the split, seemed to have completely struggled in the league, ending up in a 7-7 score, which has been very disappointing for the fans of the team.
Ultiyi tamamlayamadı Ferret. Şimdi içeri giren bir şef var. Kiba çok arada, Kiba da düşüyor. Ya bu savaşta Teok yok. Hatırlatalım, burası 4 ve 5 oynanıyor Bousquet için. Kayıpsız 3 tane skor. 5'te 5 gelir mi acaba? Tekset uzaklaşmaya çalışıyor. 4'te 4 Ryup'tan. Tekset o 5'te 5'i verecek mi? İsabet dalgası tutmadı ama 5'te 5'i bekletiyorlar. Tekset o 5'te 5'i vermemek için her şeyi yapsa da Taeyong'dan pas, Nakyung'dan, daha doğrusu Ryup'tan gol.
Regardless of group stage results, all of these teams will be fighting in the playoffs very soon starting next week. Dark Passage will be taking on Foot Esports, while Misa Esports will be taking on Bousquet Esports. You won't want to miss these matches, but if there's one match that you have to watch above all else, it will be the match between Supermassive and Besiktas on Thursday. Last of the accredited leagues, but not the least, the Prime League has looked pretty strong this year. NNO Prime and SK Gaming Prime are both leading the march, and the teams have been looking stronger than ever as they are currently on a 7 and 5 game win streak respectively. They will soon be fighting for a spot at the EMEA Masters. With names like Zlatan, Dplex, Neon, Limit, you know that these teams are not here to fool around.
Goldcard, vermutlich wieder ready, Double Flash investiert, macht Flash hinterher, Knock-Up ist drauf, Dplex kriegt hier ordentlich ein mit und ist down. Saren nimmt seinen Kontrahenten auf der Midlane raus, wie nur sprintet rein, will jetzt die Backline bedrohen, aber wird wieder CT. Goldcards und Scarface sind einfach absolut MVP, der Knockback von Schlatter ebenfalls, aber jetzt springt man dort nochmal rein, Neon muss man auch nochmal bekommen und der ist geradezu weg, kann keinen Schaden durchbringen, jagt jetzt lieber nochmal Saren raus, ist jetzt wieder im Fight drin und Neon ist bereit, den Fight zu übernehmen, holt sich den Double Kill ab, Shutdown für den vielleicht besten AD Carry in der Liga. Scarface wieder mit dabei. Jetzt kommt sogar noch mal ein Teleport raus. Neon will vielleicht zu viel Energiefeuer, wird gesided, aber Scarface wird auch verprügelt. Der dritte Kill für ihn. Saren aber mit dem Teleport rechtzeitig da.
And you know, even if the Prime League hasn't been the most successful in recent time, maybe this could be the return of the DACH region on top. We remember that this region used to be pretty good at the EMEA Masters. But the league also holds other contenders such as Austrian Force Wilhaben, which has been smurfing in the first half of the split, especially with Wu Light at the helm and their full Polish roster. And even though they faltered a bit in the end of the split, they are still looking like a major contender.
Wave connected, Steel wäre eine Option. Geht an S-Chick, der Steel ist da, merkt jetzt ebenfalls Teleport in dem Rücken, Limit schon relativ low, jetzt stehen da alle drin, der erste Kill, der fällt, S-Chick mit dem ersten Überzahl, Heartbreak geht nochmal rein, aber Rebels Schaden reicht nicht. Und jetzt räumt man da auf, Trayson, was macht der denn da hinten? Im 1 gegen 2, so kennt man ihn. Und er holt sich seinen fucking 10. Solo-Kill, ist wieder alleine auf Platz 1 in diesem Stat. Und es geht weiter. Flash, Kick, Sonic Wave nicht mal nötig. 9:1. Austrian Force Wilhaben wischt mit dem Superteam den Boden auf.
Alongside them are Unicorns of Love Sexy Edition, Schalke No Fear, and also Eintracht Spando. I don't know how to say this name. With former LEC players Zanzara and Power of Evil leading the team, you know that End of Blood's team, Entrax Bando, is not a team to be forgotten about. If there's one match to watch next week, it will be the matchup between Unicorns of Love Sexy Edition and Entrax Bando, which should be a complete banger of a match and one that you won't want to miss. It's time to move on to smaller regions, so let's discuss the Ultraliga now. Okay, I just want to preface this, I won't be talking about Iron Wolves and the entire dilemma that happened there. This has been a mess, but they didn't qualify for playoffs, so not my issue. With only the playoffs finals left to be played, the Ultraliga is almost done by now, but it's still a very important match that you will want to watch. Keeping 4 out of 5 members of its 2023 roster, Orbit Anonimo has been a strong contender in the league and is now currently in the playoffs finals after winning the Juggernaut match against Zero Tenacity.
Prawie dostarczony Blurzor, ale ostatecznie TPS bierze do ramień i to jest sygnał na rzeź Zero Tenacity. No Orbit Anonimo postawił wszystko na jedną kartę, ale był to Asmycha.
Still though, Z10 is definitely a team that you should also keep in mind because they have veterans such as Blurzor or Melonic, which have been very strong players in the past, and you sure know that this team is not here to fool around. Tune in next Saturday for the finals of the league. Polska Górą! Hashtag Rudy up, let's go! The NLC has been in full swing and there's only 2 more matches to be played in the playoffs. After bringing on Korean jungler Johan from the Monster anime, which I could have sworn was German, and Tempt, also a mid laner from Korea, Lions Creed has looked like the strongest team in the NLC so far. Still though, despite their rise to the top of the league, there is one story that we have to talk about, and that is the success story and miracle run of Rudy Esports.
You have left to say any final punches, any final surprises, and engage on in, but the Dawning Shadow comes across. Build survives for now, and he just won't go down. A last drink in favor of Venom Crest, a double kill to Silky's man. Alex goes golden, a game over emotes, and they do it. They continue. All those weeks ago, the Ruddy faithful prayed for a miracle, and it has been delivered unto them. They continue up the mountain.
Starting at the bottom of the league and staying in 7th position for most of the split, Rudy Esports has completely exceeded expectations in the ledger off and managed to steal away Verton's spot in the playoffs at the last minute. Personally, I'm a big fan of the team's top laner Bult, which is a Riven OTP from the EUS solo queue ladder, which recently decided to start playing in competitive. The team just 3-0'd Venom Crest Esports in their first match in the playoffs and are now looking to take on Nord Esports for a qualification at the EMEA Masters. But Nord Esports is still a team to be reckoned with and managed to take on Lions Creed to a 5th game decider in the Juggernaut match.
Not quite low, but the fight has been started off with Banderas. Finds himself in no man land. The pop! Blossom on 4! That is absolutely massive, and it's just what you need to win a fight. Mavs is safe in the backline. Baron is on the map, and when they find Johan, they will surely find the Baron.
Regardless though, you have to tune in next Wednesday to see the match between Nord Esports and Rudy Esports, which will be a complete banger and has an EMEA Masters spot on the line. I truly hope that Don Jake is gonna get us another rap video if they qualify. We are at the halfway mark, so let's talk about the Arabian League. After several delays at the start of the split, the league is almost done with its group stage now. And GK along with Nigma Galaxy seem to be the best performing teams in the league, but Fox Gaming is very close behind. Fostering some very impressive Korean prospects, the teams are looking quite strong heading into playoffs.
سهل التعامل معاها والفكره ان انت محتاج دي هيست يلعب بالالتيميت بتاعته. رميد دلوقتي بيقول ان على بودا، هل في فرصه للبيرفكت التيميت من ناحيه دي هيست؟ على طول في نيتشرز جراس موجوده من ناحيه الموقعي. شوف ده مش طالع على باك لاين، شوف على طول كمان فولو موجود من ناحيه باك وخلاص شت داون على الكايسر. فريق جي كي بيرد دلوقتي على ام جي اكس اللي ما عندهمش اي رد على الدامج. كريبت بلوم بتزود لك فرص انك تصعب الفايت اكتر واكتر. جيو موجود على باك لاين بالالتيميت بتاعته. دبل كيل شوفار لإيرل، لكن كمان ستس دلوقتي في وضع خطر. دي هيست صعب انه يهرب. كيو من الفارس، كيو من الجيو. الرمير بينهي الكل في النهايه وجي green light للبارن.
Some might even remember Edward, the former supporter of Gambit Gaming, which is now coaching GK, which is a big deal. Still, the Moroccan powerhouse of Fox Gaming is not looking to go into the night quietly.
يعاقب الغلط الصراحه مخبين كلهم في خلص الجيم اوه ماي جاد البوكس بهذه السهوله نو واي شباب ماذا فعل جيكس what
With a 6-game win streak and a win against NJX, you won't want to miss Fox Gaming's match against Geeky next week. If you're still here, I appreciate you sticking through this video, but let's quickly talk about the Balkan League now, which also is looking pretty decent right now. Even if the league hasn't performed to expectations recently at the EMEA Masters, Spike Syndicate and B5 have just qualified for the tournament and are looking pretty decent. With a dominant 12-2 score and a 3-0 against Diamond Esports in the juggernaut match of the playoffs, Spike Syndicate is looking like a major contender right now.
Fight nakon toga definitivno ovaj Voliver pada Zeku uhvaćen od strane ulti od Kveja tenkuje sve benče da ga pokupi da ga spasi flashuje se ovde na ultilus uhvatit će Adekerije ekipe Dijamanta Pens preživljava sa oba sama tačnije umire sa oba samanera ostatak njegove ekipe će takođe da padne flashuju se na Nenada i ekipa Spajka nakon 10-0 starta.
Not too much to say here as there's only the finals to play left, but tune in on April the 5th to see Spike Syndicate and B5 fight it out on the Rift in a best of 5 series. And if you need some players to look forward to, I would look forward for Nudo and Sahira, which is the jungle and mid duo of Spike Syndicate, who have been playing together for quite some time now and have been truly unleashed on this team. With only 5 leagues to go, let's talk about the Hitpoint Masters, the Czech and Slovak region. For the first time in what feels like decades, eSuba somehow did not qualify for playoffs, which is completely insane. They've been winning every split for so long now. I won't even mention the disaster that happened in Europe Saviors. Let's keep that one for another day. For anyone that has watched the league, you know that Entropic is the real deal. With a 13-1 score in the group stage, this is the team to watch in this league. Behind them is Glor, which also has been looking quite decent after promoting to the league this year.
No, Kněža je chycen a Kněža je v problémech. Ten Prtfejt ještě ochrání, Mamča zakřičí, ale Kněža je smazán jako první. Tohle je fantastický teamfight, ze kterého Glor můžou nejspíš finishnout hru. Je to Deathlock a CPM.
Tak CPM se snaží, co ta vlna, je tam ještě kanon, Glor musí jít to a Glor je tu i věž, než umře kanon a měl by to zvládnout.
To nestačí, Penta nebo nic.
But there's been a few roster predicaments that we have to talk about. Okay, so the team has been playing with Turkish support only 35 for most of the split and has been looking quite decent, ending with 9 wins and locking in that second place in the league. But as recently announced, the team has also mysteriously signed a new support, Mystics, which will be substituting for the support in the finals of the league. From what I was told, it seems like the team support only 35, the Turkish import, is unfortunately unable to fly to the LAN events of the Hitpoint Masters finals, and this is why the team is now looking towards the Polish support Mystics to help them out in the finals. But before reaching the stage, the team still has to take on Entropic next week and has to take on also the other team, Team Unity, in the case that they were to lose to Entropic beforehand. Tune in next Tuesday to see if Entropic can continue their sweep of the Hitpoint Masters. Ah, my dear neighbors, the PG Wait, what? Oh, sorry, it's the LIT now, the League of Legends Italian tournament. Unfortunately, things have not been so lit for Mako Esports, the former semi-finalist of the EMEA Masters last year, which has been the pride of Italy, but they've been struggling a bit this split. Still, funnily enough, this split has been the largest skill difference I've ever seen between the top 4 and bottom 4 teams in the league.
cercano Efias, va in avanti Slowq, ne trova uno solo, cade nel frattempo la torre, ucciso anche Sebex in questo momento, mi sa che siamo verso la fine, cercano Kikis, è morto anche lui, Slowq porta a casa un'altra uccisione e sono in 3 solamente gli atleta a difendere la loro base. Questo è il match point, i Desire vogliono chiudere, i Desire vogliono accedere a quella finale, vanno in 2 a cercare di impedire ad Efias di entrare, ma comunque ci rimane morto Tasteless, è l'unico a guardare tutto questo da lontano, che cerca di fare l'impossibile. È Piok, ma è da solo, non può fare nulla e vede la sua base disintegrarsi di fronte ai suoi occhi. Si può prendere Efias, si può prendere qualche piccola soddisfazione, ma signori e signori, i Desire portano a casa la vittoria contro gli atleta 3-1.
Desire Esports have just qualified for EMEA Masters after taking down Atleta Esports in what could qualify as an upset, honestly. To give you a name that you will for sure remember, Atleta Esports is currently the home of former top laner and jungler in the LEC, Kikis! Atleta Esports seems hungrier than ever to stop Mako in the track and secure the second spot at the EMEA Masters. Tune in on Thursday to see them face off on the Rift. We're almost done, so let's talk about some Greek legends. For 1911 reasons, Anotosis Famagusta is on top of the GLL once more and are looking like a strong contender.
Πρέπει να κάνει το δικό του χάρτη για να ξεφύγει, αλλά το όλο δεν χάνει. Αϊ, Λέβη! Πάνω σε 3 άτομα τους έχει πιάσει όλους και τώρα όλοι τον βάζουν στα πόδια. Μπορεί να πεθάνει ο ίδιος, δέχεται το σοκ που μεγαλύτερη σημασία έχει βλασάρει. Ο τώρα triple kill δεν θα πάρει, γιατί θα το πάρει ο Παπιτήρο και ο Icebreaker άλλη μία αμυντική ulti. Μπορεί να λέγεται Malfight, αλλά κάνει mal run. Το πρώτο death θα το δώσει. Το damage.
Αφήστε τους να ζήσουνε. Νομίζω πως τα Voidgrubs θα κάνουν τα υπόλοιπα. 13-7 τελικό σκορ. Η Ανώ τελειώνει με νίκη την δεύτερη μέρα της τέταρτης εβδομάδας.
Shameless plug, but you should check out my interview with Furai, the mid laner of the team. He was also the mid laner of TDS in the past. The team has taken some losses recently, but they are still looking like the major contenders of the league, and you should tune in next Tuesday to see the start of the playoffs of the GLL, and you'll want to watch Anorthosis face off against Team Fantasma, which should be a banger of a match. Alright, well, looking at Portugal, I think it's clear that EGN Esports is by far the strongest team, and maybe they'll even be able to replicate GTZ's quarterfinals appearance at EMEA Masters last year. Taking on GTZ with a 3-1 score in the Juggernaut match, and most importantly finishing the group stage in an unprecedented 14-0 score, the team has been completely unleashed in the LPLOL and has smurfed above all expectations and completely smashed all the other teams in the league.
Gate, está a ultimate da Mom Drago. Oh, godlike. Tenta tochas ainda jogar. 2 kills para Smolder. Nice champion. Vai tentando lutar. Bom charme. O Yeti acaba por ser eliminado também. Enquanto o Mindrag tem o tochas à mercê. Triple kill. E depois de tanto tempo à espera.
Well, there isn't too much left to watch. You'll want to watch the next match on Thursday to see who of GTZ and SAW will be able to qualify as the second representative of the LPLOL. Playing their finals on April the 5th, you'll want to watch EGN play once more in the LPLOL and maybe get the title, looking likely right now. Personally, I'm a big fan of the team's jungler owner, which has been very well known for playing carry junglers such as Lilia, Belveth, Brand and more. Alright, let's talk about the Elite Series. I was keeping this one for the end, and I mean, some of you may know that I used to work in this league actually, but let's face it, with the current state of our league and how things are looking, I think it's pretty clear that we're fucking winning EMEA Masters! Gank is back! Woo!
We gaan nu voor de fight gespeeld van Luca, maar is nu zelf in heel veel gevaar. Jorai redelijk laag, Luca is dat ook. Ignite gaat tikken, maar hij blijft net leven. En Bopper is uit het gevecht, maar gaat er genoeg zijn? Knight er nu in gevaar, kan over de muur die goldcards gooien en Snille vindt daar Stampelli. Het is dan toch weer Genk. Het is dan altijd weer Genk die deze teamfight gaat winnen. Maar nee, Zorek wil daar een stokje voor steken. Dubbel stun op de backline. Maar Bunk weet zijn weg te vinden. PTS dan de last member standing. Een
Despite their organization imploding mid-split, KFC Genk Esports, formerly known as One Way Esports or Team 7am, has been on a tear in the Elite Series so far, ending with a 13-1 score in the group stage, which is crazy. They also took down Zen IT in a 3-1 score in the Juggernaut match and just qualified for EMEA Masters for I don't even know how many times at this point. But this is it. This is the year, guys. I believe this is the fucking year. Again, I'm sorry, shameless plug, but I have a very interesting interview with the team's esports coordinator, Adamant, so you should definitely check it out. It has some very interesting stuff about salaries and like the return and what the team's goals are for the future, so check it out, please. Okay, all right, well, yeah, but I mean, we still need to talk about the rest of the league, and I mean, okay, to be fair, outside of this team, the league's overall level has been looking pretty... It's been looking pretty weak, and I think we might just be looking towards another
fucking dominant team! Let's go Zen IT! Allez la Belgique! Allez la team!
Snil qui a peut-être fait le mouvement de trop, Snil forcé au flash out, est-ce qu'on fait tomber cette faille? C'est PTS qui en vient à bout, mais on a du répondant côté Boong. PTS qui a des dégâts très intéressants à proposer, PTS qui fait extrêmement mal avec
le
son
champion
drapeau, PTS et son smolder qui lance la charge, qui lance l'assaut. On fait énormément de dégâts. Niter terrassé par Bopper, et Luka qui subit le même sort, triplé pour ce smolder, ça va être la game pour les NIT. Ils vont aller chercher la victoire, ils vont aller triompher, ils en sont pas loin du tout. Les NIT vont être la première équipe à infliger une défaite au KRC Genk, et ils continuent sur cette incroyable série de victoires.
Okay, jokes aside, Zen IT has not qualified yet, and they still have to take on a one-man army, which, funny enough, is a six-man army with their coach. But yeah, it's still a very important matchup for them, and they still have to go through that. I have to say though, being French myself, I might have a bit of bias there, and you know, I like one-man army, but I think that Zen IT will hopefully be taking it. And if you need a player to watch, it will be for sure the top laner Zorak, which might just be the best top laner in the league, honestly, but is a bit coin flip sometimes, so hopefully he gets a bit more consistency. And alright, my hair are a complete mess, and this is it for our recap, so I hope you like this new content. If you have any feedback, please comment below and let me know what you would like to see improved, some more content maybe, ideas that you have, and anything that you have to tell me basically. You can also DM me on Twitter or anything, and please, if you liked this, please subscribe and like the video so you can help me out. And yeah, I'll see you again very soon in the next video, so cheers!